Dit mag ik hier... moet ik zo hier wijzen?
Ja.
Ja. Oké, jongens, ik ga iets opblazen, want daarom ben ik hier. Gaat-ie. Ik ga gewoon de dingen proberen. Horen jullie mij al of niet? Of hoe gaat dit met dit microfoontje?
Voor de opname, denk ik, voor video.
Dus nu heb ik heel erg... Hoor je nu op de video zo heel hard geluid? Ja, dat heb ik nu gedaan. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Hi, so welcome. My name is Lidi Bus, and I'm an artist, and I make these inflatable designs, and I also do stuff. Well, let's inflate it properly, right? It's also it's fun to show it because it's quite technical actually, and in the process of growing. It also was for me a struggle to figure out how can I make this as much as possible for growing, also in material and also in technique. So today, ta-da! Well, today I'm going to talk about grow. But then also it's going to be a really personal story, and it's also about play, because I think playing means growing. And as Veronica, where are you? Oh, here you are. Just saying, I totally believe that everyone is creative and everyone should join, because being creative doesn't mean, for example, making stuff, but being creative is also in making choices over the day. What should I wear? What are we going to eat tonight? So being creative, I think it's a really big part of us. And I think it's a choice if you can feed that and grow, or you can just say, I'm safe, let's stay here, and let's keep it this way. I'm gonna look on my phone because I need to know how long am I speaking. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about my personal growth, where I came from, and how my work came about glass actually. I brought a vase, it's over there. So I did a really big transition this year. I was just talking with her. Okay, let's see if this works. So, as I was saying, this is going to be a really personal story. This is my granddad. And my granddad was a sculptor. He was an artist also. And this really shaped, obviously, my perception of being an artist. So, as he was my granddad, he was a really traditional sculptor. So he made sculptures out of clay and gyps. I don't know the word in English, but plaster. Thanks. Sometimes I need to search for some words. And he did figurative art. So as I went to art school 1,000 years ago, let me start by saying, so he was an artist, and he was a quite famous artist in The Hague, and he was also the head of the Pulgi Studio, which is an art community in The Hague. So he was quite famous, and obviously he expected my dad also to go to art school, but he chose a different path. Then that was kind of disappointing for him, but then my sister and me, we went to art school, and after 1 year I told my dad, so that's great, that's wonderful, I really want to do fine art. And then he said, no way, just stick to the teaching, because being a fine artist is really a struggle, and you really need to make money, and and I listened to him, and I choose to become a teacher, an art teacher though. So I did my art teaching degree within 3 years, and then I graduated when I was 26, 27, and then I gave birth to 3 boys, so I have 3 children. when I was 29. And during that period, when my children were young, it was okay, you know, where I was just teaching, taking care of the kids, stuff like that. But then my kids grow older and we moved to Denmark and we came back because my husband, he's a professor and he's professor mathematics. And then I said, okay, we're gonna move to Denmark, which is wonderful. But when we come back, I want to do my master degree. So that was the deal. So when I came back, I did my master degree, and I really want to tell you this. It's a really hard selection. So I did apply twice, and this is really important for the story because I want you to know that on the internet and on Instagram, all artists look like it's easy peasy and it's great fun but trust me, it's a struggle. Today I want to tell you the real story behind this whole fun and joy economy because it is a struggle. And then if you want to choose this path, there are going to be ups and downs, you know, but that's normal. So I applied twice, and then after the second time I was approved, I went to my master degree, wanted to do my master degree in Groningen, which was painting. And painting was a really obvious choice for me because in the Netherlands you have like, I think 7 different kind of master degrees. And I was quite old, right? I was 41 even when I started that. And I was born and raised in a family which told me you have to do traditional art. Art looks like this. It's a figure, or you know, or it's a person, or it's a figurative, and it looks like this. So all the other master degrees were really abstract and really conceptual, meaning I couldn't connect with that because I was born and raised by this whole idea of art. So I figured I'm going to be safe and I'm going to do my master degree in painting. So I was applying with figurative paintings and drawings and stuff like that. But during my master degree, my whole idea of art shifted. I really had to break free from this whole traditional idea of art in a figurative way. In the first beginning, I was just repeating, drawing. But then at one point, I made a website with all my heroes, all the artists I like. And that's something I could really recommend you to do if you're interested in being more creative. Write down all the people you admire and write down what's good about them and what's something you don't like about them. And if you do that, then you will create your own language. Then you will narrow it down and see what works for you. And that's totally shifted my mind because I was really focusing on figurative, and then all of a sudden I was working on more abstract forms. So during COVID, I was doing my master degree, and then the second year was during COVID, which was terrible because we had planned to go to New York and we didn't go, and I was stuck with my 3 kids in the house. And I also, I forgot to tell, but I also was teaching at the moment. So I was teaching 3 days, doing my full-time master degree in 2 days, and I had 3 kids at home. So that was quite heavy, but this came about. This was my attic at the moment. So I was stuck in the attic. This was my only space where I can live and I can breathe. My bed was on the other side, so I was sleeping here also. But at one point I thought, okay, so I need to build stuff and it needs to be abstract. So I went to the Bouwmarkt. I don't know the word in English, I'm so sorry. Juist. These words, what she said. And then I bought all kind of really funny, really big pieces of styrofoam. Because it's big, it has volume, and you can paint really well on it. Because it's, it carries color really beautifully. And then I start building my own set. So I thought, okay, if this was my canvas, how should I create this? I really wanted to create my own world. So I made all kind of pieces of styrofoam and I was putting it on the wall and it was really big. And then I said, wow, okay, great, I've created my own world. And then I showed it to my teachers and they said, oh, this is wonderful. Let's bring it back to Groningen. Because, oh yeah, I forgot to tell, I was studying in Groningen. And I was living in Delft, so I have to travel back and forth 2.5 hours. Back and forth. So, and then I said, okay, yeah, you want me to take this to Groningen? Okay, but then it didn't fit in the car. Because it was so big. And I was like, okay, well, I've got a problem. It doesn't fit. And then at one point I had a hair blower and just a piece of paper and I just wrapped it around and pushed the button and then all of a sudden I created my first inflatable. And that was really a solution because you can make it really small and really big. Oh, no, in just a second of time. So this inflatable, it fits in the back like this. And then I found my solution. So I started sewing and created these inflatables and I graduated with this work. And obviously I was really, well, no, I should say that properly. Doing a master degree, maybe, are there people in here who had a master degree or some art? Yeah. Well, maybe you can recognize this. It was a hard time because the teachers weren't always being polite. Well, polite. Or supportive. And I can totally feel I'm also an art teacher, so I know you have to push boundaries and you have to figure out what works for people. But in this time I was really damaged because I came from a totally different perspective. I was working with a lot of young people who don't have children, who don't have a job, and they were totally committed to this master degree, which is wonderful. It was really international, which was great because it really opens up my horizon. But for me, as a mom, as an art teacher also, it was really difficult to fit in this group and to live up these expectations. So the teachers always pushed me and said, yeah, you have to push further. Yeah. And I was like, oh God, I'm so tired, you know. So at the end, I didn't go to the graduated show because I felt so damaged and hurt and like I was a fucking nobody. And then I didn't go. And then my friend Elena, I miss her. She said, I'm not coming. And then she said, no, why? And I said, I cannot manage to come, you know, I graduated, I know, but I cannot come to the show. And then my work was on the show, and this was wonderful what she did. So there's a lesson here, trust me. At that moment, I made inflatables, and there was a button, and you can push it, and you can deflate it, and inflate it yourself. So my work was on the show, and she sent me, during the opening, she sent me a movie, and she only said the text, Lidi, your work is the star. And I was so grateful for that, you know. And I was like, with my youngest son, during swimming lessons or something stupid. Oh, no, that's not stupid. It's really important to. But you know, and I was like, my work is the star. Look at this, my work is a star. People all around. I didn't, you know, because I was burned out with these teachers. They pushed me down, you know. So I was like, and it started crying. And I was like, look at this, my work is the star. And yeah, so what I want to say to you guys, find people around you who support you, who carries you. There are always people out there pushing you down, saying you're nobody. But don't listen. Don't go there. Find people who carry you. That's really important in the creative process. So I graduated and I was totally burned out because I had 2 years of stuff going on. So, but then stuff evaluate a little bit like this. I was teaching at high school, and I had a a great fight at my school with my colleagues. And I started like, no, what's going on? So I grow out of this picture of only being a teacher and being a mom. I was becoming an artist. And then I gave up my job. I gave up my job and was terrified. It was terrified for me. I find it so scary. But I started my company. And they gave me a little bit of money, and I started my company, and I started to design a world full of color, light and life. I started my company and I made a website, and I was starring. People were approaching me. So I put everything on Instagram. I just did it. And also that's really scary because this is your child and there's no function. There's no function. It's not solving any world problem, but I was just putting it out there, and I was like, oh, I don't, And then all of a sudden they gave me a call if I want to come to the Milan Design Week. I was blown away. I was just invited to Milan Design Week. And then that was the first one. And then Oi Lily came. Oi Lily is a Dutch brand, and they asked me if they want to do the campaign shoot with my work. So stuff is coming towards me only with talking about me being creative and showing my inflatables online. So all of a sudden I was really growing and growing and growing, and it took me to a world full of color, light and life. And I've decided, not decided, it doesn't went like that, by talking to people about my work and what I'm doing, I feel that it was so hopeful. And I felt that, in this world where stuff is so heavy, we could use a little hope. So this is where I'm now. I translated these inflatables into glaze objects. I worked together with het Nationaal Glasmuseum in Rotterdam. And at one point, last March, personal grow, I took my work there and I said, okay, I think I want to make something out of this. And this is my sketch. And then I worked together a really, really cool guy. His name is Gert. If you want to do anything with glass, go to Gert. I have his number. And we created this. And this is a vase. And I put it on Instagram. And this was the first time I put it on Instagram. And I sold right away one. So this was also a really exciting moment, but also really scary, like, what am I doing? I just follow my gut feeling. And trust me, you all got that. Everybody knows inside, I like this. There's this really big author, he's called Rick Rubin. Maybe people know him. Yes. I'm a really great fan of him. He says, I read a lot about being creative. Also, you should all read The Artist's Way. Have anybody read here The Artist's Way? Good. Make notes. The Artist's Way, Rick Rubin. Exactly. Those people are people they support you and they lift you up. So Rick Rubin always say, don't think about what people think about your work. Just follow your gut feeling. It's not, you only make your work for you, not for anyone. Picasso wasn't standing out of, or coming out of his bed one day and thinking, well, I'm going to make this wonderful painting just because I think it will sell really good. No way. It doesn't work like that. So stick to your own gut feeling and just make. Okay. Let me see. I don't know. I don't remember what's next. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is one of the Oi Lily photos. Yeah, I just want to say we live in a time of productivity, and play is the reset button. So during play, I create form, and it goes like this. This is me in my studio. I love to saw, obviously, and this is how I work. So I create an inflatable. There's this van, and I don't do anything with the computer. I do all stuff by hand. And I love doing stuff by hand. So we feel a lot, but we experience little. That's why I want you to all stand up now. We're going to play a little. We're going to play a little, and I'm going to show you what play will do with you. It's just a really quick exercise. I just want you to move to a different seat. And don't sit down, just stand in front of your seat. Find another seat in the room. Find another seat, really good, really good, really good. There you go. Thank you, look around. Who's next to you? There's a different person. And now you can sit down again. Oh, de lichten gaan aan. Oh, no, we're not done yet. Oh. We're not done, I've got a whole story left. So you can sit down, find a chair, look beside you. So this is what play does. It changes your perspective. And this is what you need, and this is what will grow your creativity and what will give you comfort. Because being in a different perspective shows you different stuff. Shows you different stuff. So that's really important. Play and experience. Well, as I was saying, in this world where stuff is not going well, right? I look a lot of news from the US because my friend Elena is living there, I'm really worried about stuff going on there. The environment is going down. You know, I can think about 1,000 things that are not going well at this moment as we speak. I totally believe that in this world where stuff is going bad, we need to make light and cheerful stuff. It's called joy economy. It's a movement against all these heavy stuff. And that's why I create worlds to soften work to soften the reality. Really important for me. Okay, joy makes everything human. So if you are having fun and if you're doing joy or making joy stuff, for example, my work, it's making you human again. It's putting you in the moment. As we were just switching chairs, there was a quick hug here, but there were no worries. For example, a basketball player, when he throws hoops, he doesn't think about his taxes, right? He's just in the moment playing. So playing really connects it with bro for me. So play. Be cheerful. How many time do I have? 5 minutes? Something like that? So this is me. Met Gert. I love Gert. Yay. So this is where I gave birth to the faces. So I blow them myself and then fun takes shape. What is really important for me is I'm really big fan of handcrafted stuff. It's also because I think in this world where AI is taking over, I think it's really important to still make stuff with your hands and still evaluate people like Gert, who is doing this for 45 years now. He's the master of glass in the Netherlands. Also, that's a fun story, when they're here there's Object here, right? I think it's in February. Yeah, the design fair. When he walks through that building, he can tell me, I made that, I made that, I made that, I made that. So all the artists in the Netherlands come through the glass factory and says, I want to make this, I don't know how. And then he helps us out. So that's wonderful. So this was one of my first experience with glass blowing. I love it. It's really old tradition, handcrafted work, but I think it's really cool to do this. And as I was saying, when I was just putting it on Instagram, I saw that. And I'm now in the transition to make a web shop with my glaze objects. Dit heb ik allemaal verteld. Sense, play, shape. Yeah, so through shapes you can play. I also work a lot with ceramics. That also has a lot of playfulness in it, and you can work with your hands. So playing also means, for me, making stuff with different materials. Don't stay stuck to one material, or you can do that. You know, create. For me, language is really important. So I want to create a language which really connects with me and my work. So therefore, I think this makes sense, right? Even kijken. Oh yeah. Shape through play. We're gonna do another exercise. Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay. This is one of my last slides. I want to motivate everyone. Be creative. Everyone has it. Don't look too much on Instagram. I mean, it will pull you down because there are only success stories there. Just start making stuff and say, today I made this, which is wonderful. You know, small steps. This is me. You can follow me on Instagram or on, I don't know. And I've got cards, if you think it's funny, if you like one. I have it here. So thank you so much. Hopefully I inspired you.